I've decided today to talk about something that's concerning too many people who are in our business, who are in real estate. I believe it also concerns the whole market, the industry, and clientele. And it's very important that people have the vision, are not confused today, and can see where are things going. It's very important that we don't plant false hopes as well into people's minds. It's very important that we give people the right understanding and the right direction. Um, I want to start talking about, it's a question that's reoccurring. How will I have business done if I'm a real estate broker today with too many companies losing direction, with too many agents losing direction, with too many agents feeling that the business have gone into a route which will not recover from anytime soon. And I would tell you, probably you're right. In a point of time, or in a way or other, the business will not recover anytime soon, the recovery that you are expecting. The business will not anytime soon probably get back to what it used to be. You were cruising on a highway and now you're going off-road. Going off-road, you still need to use your steering wheel. Remember that. You still need to use the gear. There's slightly different skill and technique needed. And if you're a good driver, you can cruise off-road. There's slightly better tires for off-road. There's a few dimensions that you can change within the environment and within the tools you're using. However, still, you need the same skill. You need a better version of that skill. And yes, people who are average or who've not been pros at something will go into a route today which will not produce well for them. People who are not pros at a certain area or a certain locality or a certain kind of transaction or any kind of business they are into will not perform well today. But let me ask you a question. If you're a pro farmer, and you had a bad season, will you abandon your farm and go into opening a mechanic shop or an engineering? Not really. You will stay in your business, in your industry. You had a bad season. You may have 2 bad seasons. You may have few bad years of drought if you're in a place where drought occurred. Will you abandon your career? Not really. Will you abandon your land? Not really. Do not abandon your industry. Now, there's will be too many people who will be obliged to move out because they can't feed themselves and their families. And that's norm of the market. That's rules of the wild, wild west, which or rules of the jungle rather than the wild, wild west that are occurring today. And this will be an occurrence and will continue probably for a long period of time. It wouldn't be short at all. Does this mean there will be no business? Not really. It means that you will need to work double to maybe produce half. Is it decent enough? Yes, it's decent enough. To expect that all your years will be blossoming and amazing is not real and it's not possible. And to expect that you can continue with non-sustainable and non-feasible probably activities that were feasible at the time where it was very easy to generate money or easier to generate money, because I don't believe in the past few years there was any time in our industry where it's so easy to generate money. Those practices need to be eliminated or changed today so that you are able to produce. But will people continue to buy property? Yes. Will the market shrink? Probably yes. Let's be realistic about our approach. Will the market stop? It can't. The market cannot stop, guys. Okay, you will still have business. You will still have business in a year, in 2 years. You will still have business in a month, in 2. You will still have business. Now, will people buy property? Cash is painful. Cash is so painful. Holding cash for extended periods of time is so painful. And there's people who have been holding cash for the past 3-4 years, waiting for the ultimate time to come in, isn't it? This kind of people have already lost so much money holding the cash. And today, if they held it even further, they may lose the interest or the possibility of them making profit out of that better deal they hope and they may get. Because if your cash have lost 5% a year in lost income Again, loss of income, 5% only a year, not more, not 7, not 8, not 9, not 10, 5%. For a 2, 3, 4-year period, that's huge. And then if you have a drop of 30%, that drop equates approximately to the loss of income you've done. So your entry at that time would not be feasible or more feasible than the entry prior to that. So the market is expected to move, and the market is always expected to move. Look at offering your clients things that are sustainable, decent property for the right reasons. And you tell me all property does have opportunity in a way or another. I would say most property at the right price does have an opportunity or does hold an opportunity within it. But advise your customers right. And remember, people need to buy, not want to buy, not wish to buy, not hope to buy. They need to buy. And where would they rather buy than a city, for example, like Dubai, like Singapore, in a place that is proactive, decent living, good lifestyle, safe, and much more is yet to come, as it seems, specifically in vibrant cities where governments are proactive and authorities are proactive, and they do care about the investors and the investments. So remember, people need to buy. If somebody has $10 million held for the last 3 years, hoping for the great deal, you've already lost 5% just in lost income, regardless of the loss of buying power, okay, of his cash. In lost income, cumulative, that's around 16, 17%, whatever it is. Today, he needs a drop of higher than that, bigger than that, to achieve it. Until today, he was able to achieve it because we had a drop in the past 2-3 years of maybe 30, 40% in some areas. Will we have another 30, 40%? Is this why he would like to wait another 3-4 years? I don't believe so. And people are realistic. And again, it's painful not to earn on your cash. It's so painful. So rather than going back and trying to do what you've done in the past 4 or 5 years, wake up tomorrow morning and decide that I will need to use the steering wheel. The activity will be the same activity. I have a career, and that career is something I understand. I understand the challenges in. I understand that there's drought coming. But I also do understand that I am able to make a success if I have the right skill. If I don't, let me go and improve my skills. If you want to maintain this as your career, not everyone will be able to, and not everyone will have this as his career in the future. And that's normal. Again, that's the rules of the jungle. The best survive, the weakest doesn't, and becomes food for others. Thanks God, no one will become food of us guys. However, that's the direction that markets go sometimes, and those are the challenges that we will be subject to. Now, buyers will buy, tenants will rent. It will be more challenging. It is more challenging. The environment will maybe even getting more challenging with time. Am I able to create the right amount of business, quantity of business, kind of business? Yes. If you are a person who's decent, maintain good relationship with his customers, still maintain that. Understand that heat selling is not the solution. You will not get anywhere by selling and making some money for some period of time. You will get somewhere by having a career that's built on solid fundamentals. And this is exactly what you need to do. So tomorrow morning, wake up to success. Remember, the lie dead and low plan can work if you have a difficult situation that will pass. Yeah, you have a challenge that will pass in a week, will pass very fast. Yes, you will lie down very low and play dead, and things will pass and it will work. If it's gonna last for so long, you may not be able to hold your breath for that long. Thus, that's not the right approach. What we're up to, guys, will last for long. It's not the right approach to lie down low and act and play dead. Your right approach is to target prosperity without so much pressure on you so that you won't impact your emotional state. That is impacted already. However, You will have prosperity in mind. You will survive that by having prosperity in mind, understanding that I'm a farmer. I have a tough season, followed by another tough season, probably, followed by a drought, maybe. But I'll be able to grow crops, maybe in my greenhouse. I'll be able to not grow as much crops as I used to, but I'll be able to maintain my land, the livelihood of my family, and I'll be able to move forward to see another day. So if you're in real estate today, if you're a broker, if you work for a developer, do not go for the loss of direction. That's so common today. And I was talking to somebody today who I've interviewed the gentleman around 5 months ago. He's a memorable gentleman because he works in a sector of the market where very few people do work, the niche commercial and retail. And at that time, he chose to take a job in another company, which is bigger than ours. At the same time, they gave him a higher package, and he chose that direction. And that's a good company. It was great for him. However, for the past 3 months approximately, it started becoming so tough. And the toughest, as I felt today while I was chatting with him, is the lack of direction. His company have started by terminating the first team, part of the second, now part of the third, the whole second team. And the company is trying to find the right steps forward, which is what we'll all do. Remember, we're not living in La La Land and they're living in a tough world. Not really. We're all living in a challenging time and a tough time. However, they need to have a sense of direction, which hopefully they will have, because every single company is a contributor to our market and our industry. It's bad to think that all your competitors will be so challenged and die, and then you'll stand alone. If they will all die, you will die. And you live off the energy of your competitors, and you learn from what they do, and they do well, and they do better than you, and let's hope you learn. Some people don't. It's very important to have a sense of direction as an agent. Remember, as a broker, you need to have, as a company, you need to have a sense of direction. At Arms and McGregor, we have that sense of direction. We have been guilty having this much direction probably within the past few years. We've done things wrong, we've done things good, but we will continue to do things, some things good, some things wrong. We learn from the wrong thing we do after we pay for it. And we benefit from the good thing we do, and we continue to see another day and another and another. We've been here for time, and we'll be here after all of this finishes, hopefully. And surely, I would say, but inshallah. Go ahead and start a day that's meaningful for you. Go ahead and start a day that is meaningful for your community. Go ahead and start a day that's meaningful for your family. If there is nothing good to share, do not share. Try to go for wherever there's life, not physically, activity-wise. There's so many clients, so many customers who need to buy. There's so many customers who want to buy. Everyone hopes to get out of this alive, successful. Some hope that they will come out even bigger and better. At the end of every tunnel, there is light. It may be long. This may be much longer than many others, but there is light. So stay there. You may not see the light now, but you need to believe, trust the process, and understand that if you follow the process, you will get there. It will be tough. This is the only thing anyone can promise you today. It will be tough. It does not mean we adapt or we abandon our farms and we jump out. No, this means that we adapt, we take the right actions, and we go forward to see another day of prosperity. My fellow agents and everyone in this industry, as well as customers, remember as well, do not kill your supply chain and do not kill your food chain. And I mean with that, do not abuse parties around you. Get your right every time. I'm guilty about insisting of getting my right with every supplier and with every client. However, do not think as a customer you can abuse the person supplying you if you are a customer as an agent, or the customer can abuse you, or do not abuse the customer as well. Because when you kill those elements around you, you will be significantly challenged by having less supply with time. So if you feel that you have an upper hand today on a supplier, or as a company you have an upper hand on an agent, understand that you don't. You don't, because if you have that practice, and let's say you have a plumber and you abuse that plumber today, and you continue abusing all the plumbers, you don't pay them, you don't do what's right, and you seriously abuse those people around you, remember that soon that plumber may have the upper hand. Yes, he may not survive, but somebody else who's a plumber will have the upper hand on you and will abuse you. Not because of so much demand, not really, just because of the little supply that's there. He may be the only plumber in town. He's more important than anyone else in your town. So do not kill your chain. If you're a customer, treat your broker well. If you're a broker, treat your customer well. Understand that this is not the end of the world. It is not the end of the world. It is a very challenging time. And in the past 1,000 years, there has been many times as challenging. This time, hopefully, there will be a softer challenge. As you know, in the last 100 years, we've evolved and developed as human beings. And the challenges today are softer. Life is softer. Life is simpler when it comes to the burdens that you carry and the tools that you have that can support you and assist you carrying those burdens. So keep it up in the right direction. Understand that the right kind of business and the right kind of approach pays every time. Every time. And it pays on the long run. It doesn't pay in the short run. So if you're a farmer, you can be a hunter at the same time and hunt for some good opportunity. But if you're a hunter and you've only hunted and you've only exploited nature around you, one day you'll be out of prey. Enjoy your day, make it a great day, and keep on walking.